everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Yasmina. People also call me Mina. I use they, them pronouns. I work with Amor as the case manager.
Hey everyone. Hola. Me llamo Renata. Soy voluntaria con Amor. Amor is volunteer. Also, I'm part of the immigration team.
Okay, so we are here in honor of Hiu Lui Ng, also known as Sin Sang, who was detained at the Wyatt Detention Facility for ICE for over a year. And passed away in 2008 due to medical neglect. Although we did not know Sin Sang, we want to honor his life as we continue to fight for the Wyatt to be shut down permanently. Bear with us with the wind.
Sing Song came to New York from Hong Kong with his parents and younger sister in 1992 at the age of 17. He grew up to become a computer engineer with a job in the Empire State Building. He had a wife and 2 children that he was raising in Queens, New York. In 2007, Sing Song was in the final stages of adjusting his immigration status. He went to his final interview for a green card, but was ultimately denied due to a deportation order that was granted in 2001 due to a misread court date. Sing Song did not mean to miss this court date in 2001. The notice to appear in court was sent to the wrong address. That is how he ended up detained at the Wyatt Detention Center, where we're at today.
So what follows is an intense and painful retelling of the medical neglect that Sin Sang suffered at the hands of the Wyatt and ICE, which has ultimately led to his death. Feel free to either take a step back, or if you're with us through the live stream, you can put us on mute. Just want to give y'all a few seconds to do that if necessary. In 2008, a year after he was first detained, Sin Sang was complaining for months about intense back pain. He was accused of lying and faking his pain, even though by mid-July he was unable to walk or stand to use a payphone to call his family. Wyatt officers denied him of a wheelchair and ignored his pleas for proper medical attention.
On July 30th, he was dragged out of his bed and carried in shackles into a car, bruising his arms and legs. The guards drove him 2 hours to a federal lockup in Hartford, Connecticut, where ICE officials pressured him to withdraw all pending appeals of his immigration case and accept deportation. This was torture.
There was never an explanation as to why ICE took Sin Sang to Hartford and back on the same day. Sin Sang's lawyers believe that torturous trip was an effort to prove he was faking his illness and to possibly cancel the petition they had filed in Rhode Island courts the day before, seeking for his release for medical treatment.
On July 31st, a federal judge insisted that Sing Sang get the care he needed. On August 1st, he was taken to a hospital where doctors found he had terminal liver cancer that had gone untreated and a broken spine. Sing Sang died 5 days later, between August 5th and 6th of 2008.
We now ask folks to hold a moment of silence.
if we want to take a collective deep breath together. Knowing what happened to Whom Sing Song reaffirms our commitment to shutting down the Wyatt. It's not enough just to end the ICE contract. We have to make sure that the Wyatt is permanently shut down and ICE is abolished.
So this past year-ish, we've been in contact with Sin Song's son, Raymond, who's 18, lives in New York, and he has asked, we offered him to say a few words if he wants to do that, so we're going to try to figure out a call and connect him to this, so just give us a second while we do that.
If folks want to move over there where we have set up the flowers, that would be a good time. Especially because the sun is going down a little bit.
So actually, Raymond is not able to speak, so we're just going to continue. Sin Sang's death in 2008 inside this facility caused ICE to end its contract with the Wyatt that same year and remove over 150 people from the Wyatt because they knew this facility was dangerous. A few months after Sin Sang's death, Daniel Cooney, the chairman for the Wyatt, publicly told the media he wanted ICE to return people to the Wyatt due to the loss of income. He stated, "Frankly, I'm looking at it like I'm running a Motel 6. I don't care if it's Guantanamo Bay. We want to fill the beds." Cooney's words remind us that private prisons only seek to cause pain for profit. He then responded by saying, "I was simply talking about they have the need for beds. We have the need for population."
Throughout the COVID pandemic, the Wyatt has been continuing to refuse to attend to people's health needs. On April 4th, 2020, 60 people detained by ICE at the Wyatt launched a hunger strike to demand safer conditions in their release during the COVID pandemic. The Wyatt staff responded by retaliating against the hunger strike, cutting off phone access, and placing people in isolation. On April 21st, 2020, the first case of COVID in the Wyatt was reported. As October of 2020, 18% of the population held at the Wyatt had COVID-19. Warden Daniel Martin did not tell ICE detainees about the COVID outbreak at the Wyatt until October of 2020, although he knew about it well before that time. Warden Martin had been tracking COVID cases in Rhode Island and was unaware of the spike in cases. He did not require his guards to wear masks.
In January 2022, during the Omicron peak, the NBC 10I team confirmed that 149 detainees and 8 staffers had tested positive, spurring a stop in visitations. An anonymous detainee spoke out that she and other female detainees with COVID-19 are stuck in their cells for 20 to 24 hours. This is torture. The facility's men are placed in COVID-positive pods. She stated that when men test positive, they were moved to another COVID-positive pod, so they are not locked down. They have the same privileges as they would otherwise. The detainee also says she suffers from underlying health conditions and was denied medical care from a doctor despite making several requests back in January. She said it took a week just to see a nurse after she was diagnosed with COVID.
In addition, we recently learned that until May 19, 2022, Wyatt prisoners with opioid use disorder underwent forced withdrawal, which is also a form of torture. The Wyatt has continuously been torturing people since the death of Sing. Although the Wyatt nearly came to a close during the pandemic due to low number of detainees, we learned in July that the numbers had increased substantially from the 400s to 639 in a 770-bed facility. Of those detainees, and the majority of those are asylum seekers. Also, the U.S. Marshal Service recently agreed to increase its per day per detainee rate from $119 to $180. This increase is said to help cover costs for treatment opioid use disorder. Funding for better standards within prisons has historically been a tactic to increase the budget. Standards often do not improve once they have the funds, and people in the Wyatt will continue to suffer.
The Wyatt is in the process of refinancing with their number one investor, Invesco. The Wyatt owes more than $130 million to this investor. James J. Lombardi III, the Wyatt board chairman and Providence City treasurer, says that they are at 75% making the Wyatt stable for the next 15 to 20 years. He believes that they can make an agreement with the bondholders, and his goal of making the Wyatt financially stable would materialize.
The community is not on board with this. Central Falls does not want the Wyatt. We will continue to put pressure on the Wyatt, Lombardi, and Invesco.
The Wyatt is a still living example. The Wyatt is a still living example and symbol of pain. Of the pain it causes to our communities, the pain it causes to the people inside, and the pain it causes to us every single day, and it continues to operate. We know that all cages, private or public, are inhumane. We start with the Wyatt, but we continue until all of our people are free. Shut down Wyatt!
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 Shut down
y por nuestras venas corren sangre. Ninguno es más y ninguno es menos. Shut down, Wyatt.
Shut down, Wyatt! 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 Shut down, Wyatt!
Being here when it was snowy here, and we keep coming back year after year, month after month, snow, summer, heat wave, and sometimes it's really easy to lose hope, right? And to feel like we're shouting at nothing, or that what we're doing is not making a difference. But it's when we stop remembering and we stop showing up that they will continue to do this type of torture, that they'll continue to let people go sick in there, that they'll continue to let people die without us even knowing anything, right? So, I'm here. I'm sure a lot of us are just tired, and I want to take a moment to say thank you for showing up. Each individual person who's here, presence really matters. And I also encourage you, to bring a community too, right? Have these conversations. And it's important for us to remember that every single thing that we're doing matters, right? Even those conversations, your presence, your chance. So just to end, since this is a vigil and we are remembering Sing Song, and his family today, a lot of this is rooted in hate, right? And there's a song, and I'll sing, and if y'all want to sing back, you're welcome to. But, it was actually taught to me by a 13-year-old, her name is Claudia, and it goes like this. We resist, we refuse to let hatred in. We rise up, we won't back down. We're in this till the end. We resist, we refuse to let hatred in. We rise up, we won't back down.
now I'm just like trying to do like a little call to action. Thank you all so much for being here. And if you want to get more involved, if you want to come to our bi-weekly meetings, you can always get in contact with us through the Amor Rhode Island email or Instagram or Facebook, whichever makes sense for you. And yeah, we can talk and we gladly accept your help. Thank you.